Hey, good morning. So we have a wonderful resource at our church called RightNow Media, and this service it's like Netflix for Bible study. They have thousands of videos that you can use for your own personal growth, and also for small groups. And so what I want to go over today is what does that look like, and how can you use it in a small group? Because there's actually some new tools to help you out with that. So the first thing, just kind of throw out there, is you've probably seen this slide in our service videos, and so this is what we're talking about here. This is RightNow Media, and you can join for free. If you'll notice there, it says join for free, and that's because, believe it or not, it is a free service that you will not have to pay anything to watch the videos. You don't have to pay anything to host the videos. The church has already covered all of that. And what's really neat is the way our agreement with them works is if you are affiliated with the church in any way, then you can have access to it. You don't have to be a Sunday school teacher. You can just be a member of the church. Or, believe it or not, if you're a guest of the church, if you've been coming and you would like to use this for your own studies, you can do that as well. Or, believe it or not, if you're a first-time guest and you just kind of show up and you're like, hey, I want to get some of that too. That's fine. You can do that. Our agreement it doesn't matter how many people sign up for it. So it's anybody and everybody is welcome to have this. And again, it is free. There's not like hidden fees. There's not well, you get to watch the first one for free, but then you got to pay for the rest. No, it's everything that's in their library. It is available for you, free to you. There is an app for it, so you can watch it through the browser. Which if in some of your small groups that I'm going to show you, that's actually something you're going to want to do is watch it through a browser. But if you're on the go and you have a smartphone, whether it be Apple or Android, you can watch it there. If you have a tablet, you can watch it on your tablet. They even have an app for your Fire TV, so you can watch it there. I think there's one for Apple TV. It seems like there is. There's pretty much wherever you watch TV, there's probably an app to cover you for that. So very easily done. If your internet is kind of poor and you don't want to have to deal with the buffering, you can download them ahead of time. So in the app, you just say, hey, I want to download this. And so if you get to your work that has better Wi-Fi, or you get somewhere else with better Wi-Fi, don't come to church because our Wi-Fi is probably not as good as your home one. But you can download it there, and then you can, and that'll be great, right? So there's that. Now, just as we look at it though, I want to show you the screen. So this is the website. This is when you get your account. This is where it begins. This is where it starts. And if you don't have an account, just send me a email, and I'll put that information up here in a second. So you can get your free account. It's also in your bulletin. There's a link and there's a little QR code in the bulletin, and you can get it that way too. So however you get your account, once you get your account, then here you are. And you'll notice they, just like lots of websites, they've got the banner up here to let you know what's new. And there's several new things that are coming out, which are pretty neat. There are kids shows, so like Mr. Phil's show. It's the same guy that did VeggieTales, and they're great stuff. They cover lots of things dealing with Bible books or different church history people, and so there's different studies and whatnot. As we scroll down, you will notice that some of these have little orange labels on the top. Some of them do not. If they have the orange label, what that means is that is RightNow Media's own production. That's their own study that they put together. And what's cool about that is that also means that the study guides, the questions and that sort of thing to help you with that study, they're free and ready to go. You can actually download them. Typically, when you click on one. All right, so here you go. So you'll see, here's all the different sessions here. It's a 12-parter. And notice, like, for this one, these aren't really that long of sessions. They're made to watch and then discuss. But there's, like this one, here's the leader's guide. So you just click view, and that'll pull up the leader's guide to help you as far as leading this study on 1 Corinthians. So that's there. Kind of going back at the top, you've got libraries. This is all the different libraries that they put together. Plus, though, if you notice right here, it says Chilhowee Baptist Church. We actually have our own library. If you get access through Chile Baptist, you'll get access to this. Yours will look a little bit different because you can't edit the images and that sort of thing. You can't add channels. But some things that are kind of in the works. First off, the revival services, if you miss a revival, those are on YouTube, but they will be here as well soon. These are some kids shows that I've just kind of pulled out and recommended for y'all to check out. This Bible Unearthed is actually really neat. So it's got an archaeologist who's interviewed with a couple other guys, and they put together a show discussing the process of archaeology and how do we know what happened way back when in Bible times, and what have we found that actually has reinforced what the Bible says and that sort of thing. So this is a really cool little show you should check out. Along those lines too, pastor recommendations. These are some things that I've just found that I think would be good. Book of Jonah. I found this when I was actually about to preach Jonah, and it was kind of neat because some of the stuff that he touches on is what I was talking about. Obviously, he's going to go more in depth. I did one sermon. This is a whole series, so feel free to check that out. The movie that I've been plugging that I don't know how many of y'all have actually watched, but Patterns of Evidence. You should definitely watch that, and that is there. The movie's there, so you can watch that for free. If you want to pay for it, I'm sure they wouldn't mind that too. But RightNow Media, you watch it for free. So there you go. Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. This is an excellent study. This book has been around for a long time now. It's actually one of those books that kind of changed how I, not necessarily changed my faith, but changed how I approached apologetics, because it was very eye-opening that you can really dig into history and see the credibility of the Bible, see the credibility of the resurrection. So it's kind of wild. It's good stuff. And then sermon supplements. These are just some other things that I found that hopefully you'll find helpful. If not, well, there's thousands of videos, so pick a different one, right? But anyway, so lots of categories over here that you can kind of check out. If you're interested in science, as far as science and religion, how those kind of go back and forth, you can click on that. If you're wanting to know about if you want to know more about worship, about leadership, if there's particular teachers you want to listen to, that sort of thing. And yes, there are funny video clips if you just want to laugh for a little bit. So lots of stuff in the libraries, and like I said, we have our own things that we're going to add to that as well. Other things, there are training modules. So if there's particular things that you want to be trained in, then you can check this out. So like online church, how do we do online church? In all honesty, I probably need to watch that. Actually, I haven't watched that yet. But this is some things to help you out with on theirs, as far as for pastors, for small groups. If you're like, I don't know how to lead a small group, like what do I do with that? To me, I think one of the best things to do is just jump in the water and start swimming. But you can also, like, if you're like, no, listen, I need the shallow end first, then check these out. Go through these and see what you find. And if you've been doing Sunday school for years, I would still recommend watching these because you can always learn something new. And so it's worth checking that out. For youth ministry, if you want to work with youth, but you're not sure how to deal with youth and their craziness, then this might be something to help you out with. Children's ministry, preparing yourself, that's a major thing you have to do for children's ministry if you're going to dive deep into it and go beyond maybe what you have been doing. These are just, there's tons of stuff here. So and it is free to you, so by all means, take advantage of that. And you can use this for your personal growth, like I said, but also if you are wanting to start a small group. One of the issues that we've had, obviously with COVID, is Sunday school has been interrupted. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we all are on the same page and understanding is Sunday school can happen in lots of different ways. Small groups can happen in people's homes. They can happen over the phone. They can happen through a Zoom conference. You can meet outside on a picnic table. Go hang out in the park. When winter comes, if you're not really sure you want to do that, you can hang out in different stores. There's a corner store I'm sure that she wouldn't mind y'all hanging out in. Or just wherever, right? If y'all want to, take the drive to Warrensburg or Clinton and find a coffee shop or somewhere that you want to hang out there or eat over a meal, by all means do that. Like it can be done. It has been done, and I would say go forward and do it. On Sunday mornings, if we're in the parking lot like we have been and probably will be this Sunday, if you want to just hang out in the picnic tables before service and have your group meet there, that's fine. One of the things that I hope I've made this blaringly obvious, but if not, the church is not the four walls, right? So we are not limited to being in the sanctuary to say we've done church, right? We're not limited to the classrooms in the building to say that's how we have to do class. I mean, that's just not true. You can have small groups wherever 2 or 3 or more are gathered, right? Because what did Jesus say? Where 2 or 3 or more are gathered in his name, there he is. And so whether you're in the walls, you're outside the walls, you're at a picnic table, in a coffee shop, you're at Applebee's, whatever, right? By all means, meet, gather, have fun with it. This RightNow Media is a tool to help you do that. So if you want to have a small group and you're not sure where to start, right? You've got the old school option of just crack open your Bible and have at it. And then you've also got these video series that you might want to watch because these are people that they've studied, they've done the work, they've done the production value to put it together, and so there it is. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just watch them. And you may not always agree with what they say, and that's fine. That's part of studying is learning what people believe, what they think, and then what do you believe, what do you think, and how can you evaluate that and go from there, right? So to use these in small groups, some things to know is every one of these, right, they have a new option that they've added. And I'm going to pull up my queue because I actually have a study that I'm interested in doing. And I've got Ramsey's stuff here because I was looking at his stuff for some other things. But anyway, he's got one here, and it's not even all Dave Ramsey, but it's why do we work? What is the purpose, right? It's called Work as Worship. So if I decide that I want to do this study, when I click on it, it's going to pull up the video here. So obviously it'll just start playing, right? I'm going to pause that. But I've got another option. If I'm a group leader, if you're in your home, you just pull it up on the app, hit play, and boom, there you go. But let's say you guys are online together, right? So you don't want to meet in homes, but you still want to meet together. There's this button right here. It's called Watch as a Virtual Group. So when I click Watch as a Virtual Group, it's going to pull up a new window, and it might have you sign in. It might not. It just depends on if you've signed into this particular site. The sign in is super easy because you just click sign in and it carries over your RightNow Media. So don't worry about that. If you see that, just click sign in. You're there. And so step one, you have a link, right? So you click that. It says copy because you've now copied the link onto your copy and paste, right? And so you can then paste that into an email, send that to everybody and say, hey, we're going to meet at such and such time. Here's the link to do that. I will say, though, if you look here in small print, it says this link expires in 7 days. Just be careful, like, how far ahead of time you send it, because if you send it more than a week ahead of time when you are going to meet, then it expires and you got to get a new link, and people are all confused because they can't find the video, right? So the rep that I was talking to, she said that she actually recommends just that afternoon, like if you are going to meet in the evening, just that afternoon, send the link to everybody then, and so that way they've got it, and everybody's on the same page, and it is going to change, right? So if you're meeting weekly, that link is going to change week to week. If you decide to meet monthly, obviously that link is going to change. So unless you're knocking these out, like, every day or over the course of a weekend or something, like it's going to change. So just be aware of that. And so after you've copied the group link, then you can hit start group. When you're ready to start, you can hit start group, and then it'll give you the microphone here and the camera. And like I don't have a microphone or camera hooked up to the Mac, so it's not going to make a difference there. But I hit join virtual group, and it will actually begin the group. And when everybody's in and everybody's ready to go, we can hit start video. Because the camera and mic are there, right, you can have that interaction just like a Zoom conference. If you're, and again, if your internet speed's not all that great and you're not sure you can actually do this well because people have slow internet, that's fine, right? You can watch it on your own. You can say, hey, at this time, watch it, and then this time later we'll discuss it or whatever. However you guys want to do that. Be flexible. It's cool. It's all good. So that's there. So that's one way to do an online group. If you didn't catch all that, or you're like, hey, what now? There's a little link right here under it says, what is a virtual group? And click that to hit learn more. And they'll tell more about what I just said, only they'll say it better and probably not near as fast. So there you go. So how to begin, right? Pick a study you're interested in, and I'd say ask 3 friends, 3 couples, whatever. Do you guys want to study with me? Do y'all want to do this together? And then just decide how and how often you want to meet. Do you want to use the online conference? Do you want to just watch it on your own, discuss later? Or do you guys want to meet in a home? However you decide to do it, go for it. Have at it, and it'll be great. And then just meet. So like the Work is Worship one, it's a 5-part series. So like if we do this, we're only going to meet 5 times, and then that might be it. Now we might decide to do something else next, and that would be great. But if we meet weekly, 5 weeks, that's it. We're done, and we've watched it, we've learned something, and we've taken the next step of faith a little bit and grown, and then we go from there. So it's super easy to use, and I know there's tons of material, but really I think the best thing to do is just start with, what do you want to do? What is something you're interested in? And then just find people that are interested in that as well, and then go for it and do it together. And it should be great. I think it's going to be a great tool if we'll just use it and have at it. So that's there. If you have any questions, like I said, I'm going to put my email up here on the screen in post, and so you can send me emails if you have a question. If you need access because you don't have an account, you can send me an email, and that'll be the quickest way for me to get your account. If you call or text me, that's fine, but ultimately I need your email to do anything. So that's why email is probably the quickest way. All right, you guys have a great day, great afternoon. Look forward to seeing you Sunday.